So you saw the thumbnail, or the YouTube short if you're lucky, and it's true. I managed to get Minecraft Java Edition running on the Nintendo Switch. Here's how I did it. Now, you're probably wondering how this is possible, as it's impossible in its current state to install Minecraft Java on the Switch. However, not all hope is lost, as there actually is a way to install Linux onto the Switch, and Minecraft Java is compatible with Linux. Now, I think it's important to note that to install Linux on your Switch, you have to actually hack your Switch. Now, this isn't really that hard. You're going to need a couple of things if you ever want to do this. You're going to need an RCM jig, which is essentially a thing that will slide onto your Joy-Con rail, your right Joy-Con rail, and it's pretty much going to short 2 pins to allow your Switch to go into recovery mode. And then you're also going to need an SD card, and you're also going to need a computer for this. This is not really a video on how to hack your Switch. Also, it's not endorsed by Nintendo, but that's just kind of the price you pay for it. So that's, like I said, it's kind of out of the scope of today's video, though. However, there's plenty of tutorials out there if you did want to put Linux on your Switch, or Android if you wanted to, using the Android/Linux switch root project. So after I installed Linux, you can use the touch controls and the Joy-Cons kind of as a mouse and keyboard. However, that's kind of annoying. Also, Minecraft Java isn't really officially supported with controller or touchscreen. So as you can see here, I ended up connecting a keyboard and mouse via an external dock. Not the Switch dock that it comes with, but just a USB dock. And the reason why I did this, as always, is that Linux is a PC operating system, and to be able to install some of the stuff, I needed to have that. So the next thing I had to do was actually install Minecraft Java onto Linux on the Switch. And I ended up doing some Googling, and I was a little nervous because this is a ARM version of Linux, and I didn't know how the compatibility was going to be, since usually it's ran on x86 hardware. I ended up finding an application called Pi App Store, or I think it might be called Pi Apps. I'll put it on screen, but essentially you install it with a few commands, and it's like kind of like a built-in app store. It's actually designed for like the Raspberry Pi and stuff. However, it advertised that you could install Minecraft Java through it, and it actually worked pretty well. You install it, like I said, with a few commands in terminal, and then it just shows up as an application that you can open. And what you do is you find, it's called Prism Launcher on Pi App Store, which is a third-party Minecraft launcher for Minecraft Java. You install it, and after installing it, you just click on it, and it'll just kind of install Prism Launcher for you. And yeah, before we knew it, we had a Minecraft launcher available on our Nintendo Switch. So the next thing I did is I decided to hook up the Switch using the Switch dock and an external monitor. The reason why I did this is I really wanted to output 1080p, just to kind of make the Switch have to work a little bit harder and like kind of just give it the worst case scenario for performance. Then I also wanted to hook up my capture card to be able to show you guys easier kind of what I'm seeing on screen. So after opening Prism Launcher for the first time, I had to log into my Minecraft Java account. You are going to need a paid Minecraft Java account or a Microsoft account that has a Minecraft Java license on it in order to play Minecraft. It doesn't matter what platform you play it on, that's just how it's going to be. And I decided after that I was going to launch the most current version at the time of recording, which was 1.20.6. However, I got an error saying that I couldn't play it because I needed Java 21. And I don't have Java 21 at this current moment, and while I do know a little bit of Linux, I didn't know enough to officially get Java 21 installed. So I spent some time, and I figured I'm going to come back to it later. So I ended up just installing 1.16.5, which only needs Java 17. However, that didn't work, and I actually had to just switch it into my settings, in the Prism Launcher settings, to actually get to use the right Java. After doing that, I was able to launch Minecraft 1.16.5. So once Minecraft loaded, I stuck all the settings down to the lowest they would go, pretty much minimum everything. Maybe there's a couple settings I missed, but I don't know. I don't know if they would have made much of a difference anyways. And I ended up loading up a brand new Minecraft world, and I got instantly really bad performance, like less than 10 FPS, and it was really bad. And no matter what I did, mostly it was kind of that same thing. I ended up at one point digging down, and I ended up getting like 40 to 50 FPS, which was pretty nice. And then when I ended up flying it back up to the surface again, it seemed to stabilize, and I was getting between 30 and 60 FPS most of the time. So, I mean, that's up to you whether you think that's playable or not. It's definitely not the worst thing in the world. However, I also don't know how stable as a version Minecraft 16.5 was. I thought it was a pretty stable version. However, obviously, there is mods and there's also different versions of Minecraft we could try to load on it that could make it perform better. So just because I was curious, I ended up next loading up Minecraft 1.16.5 again, except this time it was with Optifine installed. And we didn't really see much of an FPS increase here, but we did see that it was more stable, so we ended up getting roughly around the 30 FPS mark pretty much most of the time on a brand new world just like before, and around pretty much low settings everywhere. And we were getting a roughly 30 FPS, which is not really terrible, but I don't know, that's up to you to decide what you think was better. But I think I'd rather play the more stable 30 FPS than the more inconsistent, I guess, without it, but I don't know. So the next thing I tried to do was take another crack at installing Java 21 on the Nintendo Switch again, and I ended up finding a video by Exanami, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if it's not wrong. I will link this video in the description, and it was actually on how to install a Minecraft server for a Raspberry Pi. However, he went through the process of actually installing a new version of Java, and these same steps in the video actually ended up working perfectly for me, so I could get Java 21 installed. So I will leave his video in the description because it was really helpful, and I was able to get Minecraft 1.21 installed because I ended up taking a few days off from this video, and when I came back that was the latest version. So when I opened it, I ended up just putting the settings down to low as always, and as you can see, we ended up actually getting really good performance. However, we started to notice that the chunks for the world weren't loading in as much. However, we were hovering around that 40 to 50 FPS mark, sometimes up to 60s and 70s. So yeah, is it playable? I guess that's up to you. If you're coming from a really bad computer, probably. As you can tell though, I ended up doing the TNT test, and I don't know what they've done in recent Minecraft versions, but it's not like the other ones where it just crashes your game. It kind of like delays how much it'll blow up at a time. It's kind of like the old console versions of Minecraft, if you know what I mean. And it ended up just time-lapsing through some of it because it was really, it just took forever. So I don't know, like it kind of failed the TNT test. However, I don't think we were really surprised there. So next, I loaded 1.21 up with Sodium, which is kind of a beefed up version of Optifine, and it did kind of help a little bit. It didn't really improve the FPS, however, it did improve the chunk loading a little bit. It made it a tad bit more consistent. However, it still had a lot of issues. It still would not load chunks too fast. Like, you could be walking and sometimes you would just walk into nothing. However, they would at least load, unlike the base game where sometimes they would not load at all. The TNT test was not a disappointment either. It ended up just kind of blowing up how normal TNT tests in YouTube work, where it just kind of blows it up all at once. I don't know if that's something that Sodium changes or if it was just a glitch, I don't know, but I ended up getting 0 FPS. And stuff like the trial chambers, it was fine, I guess. It was getting still roughly on the 30 to 40 FPS mark. So is it playable? Well, again, that's up to you. I think if you could get it by playing like this, however, it's definitely not going to be a very enjoyable experience. So the next thing that I ended up trying was a game of Hypixel Bed Wars, and I ended up playing it just on the Switch and not with the monitor attached. So this is playing at 720p. However, on 1.21 it seems to be playing just fine, and yeah, I can't really complain here. We ended up losing pretty quickly into the match, but yeah, I liked it and I had a really fun time playing it. So yeah, I would say it's definitely playable. So for my next test, I ended up loading 1.12 with Forge installed, and this was to prove that I could install mods. So I installed one of the most popular Minecraft mods, which is Biomes of Plenty. I don't play much modded Minecraft, however, I was getting really good performance, and I know that Biomes of Plenty is not the most intensive mod out there. However, it just proves though how stable Minecraft 1.12 really was, and I was still getting like way better FPS, and I also was getting better render times for like chunks and stuff, or better load times I should say. But you could also play things like Pixelmon probably, and even probably some more intensive mods. However, I didn't try those, so I don't know. But yeah, if you can play the mod on Minecraft Java, you can play it on the Switch using this method. So that was pretty cool. And yeah. Performance is really good. Now, some people will still think that this video is fake and that I'm lying. However, I'm just proving here that this video is not fake. I'm undocking the Switch right now, and as you can see, it moves onto the Switch's screen, and I can move around the cursor and Joy-Con and everything. And then when I put the Switch back into the dock, it displays on the monitor, and I can now use the keyboard and mouse. So again, this is just to prove that it's actually not fake, like some people are going to say. It's not fake, this is actually real. The last thing I decided to do is to host a Minecraft server on my Nintendo Switch. Now, there was a Minecraft server software on the Pi App Store, however, it ended up not working. So I just went to the Minecraft Java website and I installed the server client through there, and I got it up with pretty much no hassle. And so I ended up trying it, and I ended up having me and my sister play. I ended up opping my sister so she could go into creative, and so did I did. And what we ended up doing was just loading up a bunch of TNT, and we blew it up to test the server. And believe it or not, it actually stayed up longer than we thought it would, and then it ended up crashing. I don't know how much TNT we probably had, but it wasn't a lot. Obviously with 1.21 it kind of didn't like blow up as much as it normally would have. But yeah, is it playable with a Minecraft server? I guess it is. I don't know why I'd want to do this, but yeah, you could probably put 4 to 5 players on the server and it would probably run just fine. So now we're at the point of the video where I guess I just tell you whether or not you should do this. And I think the obvious answer is no, you probably shouldn't do this. The reason why is because I don't really know why you'd want to. First off, you have to hack your Switch with Linux, which if you already like doing that stuff and you already have your Switch hacked, then yeah, maybe go ahead and try it. There's nothing saying you can't. However, for most people, if you really want to play Minecraft Java Edition and don't already have your Switch hacked, you might as well just go get a PC or get a Raspberry Pi. And I guess that's the other thing, right? Pretty much with Linux on the Nintendo Switch, it's just a souped up Raspberry Pi with a battery, a screen, and kind of 2 useless controllers that don't act as controllers, and also limited ports and I/O. So I guess either get a Raspberry Pi or just get a cheap computer off of eBay. That would work so much better for playing Minecraft. In fact, the Raspberry Pi, I don't know if it would play Minecraft better, but it's about on par performance is what I would say. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you learned something, consider subscribing. If you didn't and you thought this was a complete waste of time, still subscribe. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Yeah, bye.